Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Apex Racing TV. Alex Simpson and Conrad Venter for another round of the iRacing Grand Prix Series. We're at Suzuka today, Conrad. We missed a week last week, unfortunately. The Monza round. We were enjoying ourselves at Silverstone for the World Endurance Championship, I have to say. 18 of us. What a great weekend that was. Yeah, we missed all the action at Monza, but at least we get this little treat that is Suzuka.
Yeah, we did have a lot of fun, and like I say, it's a pity we missed Monza, but what a great track to come back to and resume the series. Everybody is familiar with Suzuka and the sort of challenges it offers, so looking forward to a good race.
Just looking at the championship table as it stands right now, of course some drivers have already raced this week, so it's just a little bit all over the place at the moment. Qualifying still well under its way. So Slava Yatsenko leading at the moment with 1,214 points. He has got 6 weeks counted, 18 starts, 6 wins, 17 top 5. So the consistency really coming strong for him. And he's ahead of Massimiliano Ficarra, who is second, but only on 5 weeks, 7 races, 2 wins, 5 top 5. So again, really good, strong results from him on 1,017. So a good race here, 200 plus points, would see him jump back into the lead. So I definitely feel like it's going to be between those two at the end of the season. They seem to be making their way towards the front of most races. Good consistent results. Kevin Ellis Jr. in third. Fourth we've got Diego Oliveira, and then it's Ruslan Sabatov rounding out the top 5. Just having a little look further down, see if there's anybody who's perhaps on 4 races that might come through strong. It's not really, so yeah, I think your top 5 really sort of showing themselves now. We're getting to the point where drop weeks are going to start to kick in just a couple of weeks' time, and people are just going to try and improve their worst results. So not quite as a high scoring as it was last season, but still I feel like we could see sort of 1,800 points maybe by the end of the season as the winning point score.
Yeah, Yatsenko and Ficarra has separated themselves from the rest of the guys in the standings, really, with averaging about 200 odd points a race. The only other guy I can really see threatening the top 5 at the moment is Giuseppe Ragusa, who's only done 5 weeks and he's on 787 points. I haven't looked through the people we have in the race. I'm not sure if Ragusa is here or not. It doesn't look like it at the moment. So yeah, he'll possibly miss out this week. But again, yeah, you get the drop week, so he'll have plenty of time to make those up and get his full complement of 8 weeks in.
Yeah, one driver that we'll pick up on is Daniel Winton. I know he's had a couple of bad weeks as well, and only showing on 5. So good, strong result. Now we'll see him jump back up into the top 5 as well. And yeah, the poor week that he had, because I think he basically had a DNF, was it, at Nürburgring, if I remember rightly. So he come together with Yatsenko. So I think there's some points to be made up for him. So yeah, there's still probably a few drivers kicking around that might make their way into that fight. But I do think the championship battle is between the Slava and Massimiliano at the moment. Right, let's pay our attention, or switch our attention over to qualifying, as most drivers, not everyone, has pretty much set a lap at the moment. Who we got out there at the moment? So obviously Zaitsev at the moment currently sat in P2. He's circulating around, hoping to improve, just coming out of the spoon curve right now.
Wow, that surely was an off track.
I think you can get away with it there. It does slow you down, so it won't be the best of exit, but unless you your good portion of your car is right over that, sort of more towards the middle and just a little bit out of shape through 130R, not straight forward flat out through that corner like it was in the old Williams. This McLaren struggles a little bit through there, even with maximum downforce. Does he improve his time? Just an outlap. So we'll take that. Wow, that was a bit anticlimactic, wasn't it? If there ever was. So it looked like he was going for it, just the way he exited there. So who else is out there? Yatsenko at the moment. He's just coming down the back straight as well through 130R. See if this is a hot lap. Checkered flag is out, so drivers are going to have to finish. That means that Zaitsev's not going to get it in, and I don't even think Yatsenko didn't even get across the line. So a few drivers there caught out by the time, just not able to set their second flying lap. Conrad, would you mind just sort of taking us through and seeing who's who?
Yeah, we've got Daniel Vensing qualifying on pole with a 1 minute 32.320. Vasily Zaitsev in second place. On the second row, we've got Anton Sabarekov, and then Gobi on the in fourth place. Daniel Biran fifth. Slava Yatsenko in sixth place. Massimiliano Ficara in seventh. Zoran Janic in eighth, and we've got Manuel Domingo in ninth place. Joining him on the fifth row is Kevin Alice Jr. in 10th, Victor Prieto in 11th, Rosalind Sabatov in 12th place, Ferenc Kern in 13th, we've got Klaus Smeitz in 14th place, and Nicholas Rasmussen 15th, Jorge Martinez in 16th place, Andre Eisenhorst 17th, Mark Wilmington 18th place. In 19th place, we've got Kane Basil. Joining him on the 10th row is Ricardo Rocco, and then Michael van Dijk and Matt Stratford on the 11th row, 21st and 22nd respectively.
Yeah, good grid for this one, certainly. 22 cars, should be good. A few drivers working their way up from the second split into the top split as well, so should make for an interesting race to see how they get on. Right, we're just waiting for the last of the drivers to get to the front, get to the grid. Just Matt Stratford we're waiting for at the moment. Turn 1, we've seen some pretty major crashes here, certainly in the World Championship Series, and I have in some sort of Class A Pro Series as well, so always tricky funneling down into that corner, such a fast entry, and then of course it slows down for the second part, so it's going to be interesting to see if we get a clean start. Here we go. Right, lights are out here at Silverstone. Looks like a great start from Wensing, streaking away from everybody behind. There's already some contact further back. Major incident, not sure who that was. We'll see if we can get a replay of that once the first lap has settled down. Looks like everybody survived for the most part. It just sort of knocked the car off the line for the moment. I thought we were going to have a big crash, but managed to keep it held together. But everybody just everybody through and okay.
Yeah, I was looking down the. It's normally coming through the S's up to down the curve as well. It seems like a magnet for crashes. Everybody seems to have filed through there safely. Just going to have a little rollback to the start. See if we can pick up on who was. Because somebody definitely went off onto the grass.
Daniel Bieder in fourth place. Daniel's obviously been very quick in recent races as well, but usually has to find his way up through the grid. Not the best of qualifiers, so much better start from him. It's just ahead of Fabrizio Gobbi at the moment, who's got Slavan Yatsenko right behind him, and Zoran Jonic as well. So these guys are very, very close to each other right now. Just working their way through this first lap, of course. Oh, as Zoran runs just a little bit wide. Gets the car stopped, no problem. Doesn't lose any places. He's got Manuel Domingo behind him at the moment as well. So looks like Ficara might have been the one that got clobbered, because he's dropped down all the way to 9th place. So 3-4 places for him. Goes for a move into turn 1. He's got some damage on that front of the car as well. So I'm pretty sure it was him that was involved. If he needs a pit stop, of course, that's going to cost him some time later on in this race. So
I think we might have had a couple of cars running together in that first half of the first lap. The guy that was off onto the grass on that first lap, I have lost his name, but it was there was no contact there. It was clearly just he just avoided or swerved to avoid Nicholas Rasmussen in front of him, and went onto the grass, but safely rejoined again.
Oh, yeah, someone on the right, and it was actually the car that I spotted was in fact Ficara, so just got squeezed a little bit. So Fortunate not to get any suspension damage there, but did pick up a little bit of front end. So yeah, never easy trying to work your way down into that first corner. But yeah, I was going to say it's great that everybody survived, but I'm seeing 3 cars potentially not running out there right now. Rasmussen, Ricardo, and Matt Stratford. Let's get back to the live action.
And they've all retired from the race as well, so it's not like they're going to take repairs and come back on again. So this early in the race, 22 runners. We are down to 19. Oh, we've got another good... now my timing screen is playing up. I just thought I saw Dominguez or Marquez dropping down the order. He's still very much in 10th place.
Yeah, it looks like Ficarra has made his way up and picked up a couple of places in that lap there. So you're right. Mingo is further down. He was just ahead of Ficarra, wasn't he, going into that lap? So let's just take a quick look at the top 10 as it is right now. So Winsin, followed by Zaitsev, Severov, Bida, Gobi, Yatsenko, Yonage, and Ficarra. And we've got Sabatov and Kern there as well. So yeah, already a few different little packs where they've had some battles. So Daniel Bida's dropped back sort of 2.1 seconds from Anton there in 3rd place right now. Gobi's right up behind him, and then we've got Ruslan in 9th. Seems to be dropping off the back of Ficarra right now as well.
It has spread out quite quickly, especially at the front. Like you say, Zaitsev's already 2 seconds behind Vensing, the leader, with Sabrikov second behind him. But then you get to this midfield where 10th, 11th, and 12th, even 13th, 14th is sat, and it looks like a bit of a car park at the moment.
Having a look at a little battle going on further back. This is for 12th and 13th, and there's contact between that's Victor and Andre there, and yeah, unfortunately, Andre was the one that that comes off worst, just gets turned into turn 1. Saw that, well, I guess he just didn't see that Victor was coming there, so definitely a if there's a gap I'm going for it kind of thing, and yeah, just needed to close the door a lot earlier, so that didn't happen, and then come across a bit too late. Needed to leave room. I think he'll be a bit furious in the car, thinking that's probably something to do with being Victor's fault, but it's definitely one of those racing incidents where the nose is just alongside and just late to cover it up, really.
And if I remember correctly, back to when we covered this same race last season, there was definitely it is an overtaking opportunity. It is a place to overtake, but we did see quite a few incidents in the same manner, especially through that I guess you can call it turn 1 and 2, where somebody just gets up the inside and either runs a little bit wide, or the guy on the outside doesn't realise it's there and just turns in. But it is a corner that causes quite a few incidents. Yeah,
I think you're right. You've got to be you got to make sure you're alongside and know that the driver knows that before you go for it. It's so easy just to have your nose chopped off there.
I particularly remember what it was, a Stained Scorthorst, I think.
Yep.
Had quite a few runnings with a few other drivers.
Yeah, Jensen comes to mind. Actually, there wasn't an instant really between those. That was kind of like I think Stein just lost it, didn't he, right in front of Jensen, and got caught up. So, yeah.
Oh, we've got a slow runner there out of turn 2. That's French Kern.
Yeah, wait. Happened there. So let's take a replay back of that. It's probably not far enough back.
He just got himself into all sorts of trouble. Lost the back end a little bit coming into turn 1. Tried to recover the car through turn 2, and then lost it again. Spun it round, and then got on his way. So
Oh,
Nobody other than himself involved in that one.
ah, yeah, he was still on the AstroTurf when he got heavily on the gas there, so he'll be kicking himself for that one. So up and into 10th place he was before he made that mistake. He's only made a few top split races this season, and yeah, was on for another good result there. So we'll see how he does fighting back through. It's going to be tough, but he showed that he had the pace. I mean, the previous lap was only sort of 0.8 of a second faster. Well, let me change that. 0.3 of a second faster than what sort of second and third place are doing right now.
Actually, he lost quite a few places through that. I mean, I'll wait for him to cross the start-finish line just to confirm. But he's lost 8 places.
Yeah, all the way
mistake.
down to 18th.
All the way down into 18th.
Well, I'm sure he's going to have an exciting race coming back through. Wensing just flying away at the moment. I mean, when we look at the gap behind him right now, I mean, it's 3.7 seconds. So, yeah, just great performance right now. He's been, one of the drivers who's kind of stood out as having the pace. And I'm sure when Season 4 comes around in the Pro Series, he's going to be knocking on the door to try and pick up a spot if he can. So, showing great performance.
Yeah, we've seen him on the academy races as well. Very consistent driver, and what he does is definitely a contender, like you say, when Season 4 comes around.
Having a look, it looks like there's a battle going on right now, side by side. This is between Kenner and Klaus, I believe. Yeah, Klaus just ahead of him, so Klaus moves himself up and into that 12th position. Mark Warmington just tucked up behind them. Will hopefully try and get a little piece of that action if he can. He's got to be careful. He's got Domingo behind him as well, coming up quite strong as well. 0.3 quicker that last lap, so good little four-car scrap right now.
Yeah, it's great to see some of the guys in the midfield as well that just group together and have their own little battles. And then and some of the sports car series we do, sometimes it tends to fizzle out somewhere in the midfield towards the back, and you sort of end up driving on your own. But it's great to see this. Warmington's got Domingo all over the back of him as they come through the S's, making their way up to the Dunlop curve.
Yeah, Dirty has a killer through here, and you can already see that gap just slowly increase, but good line for Domingo there, just closes back in. Looks like Warmington just able to carry a bit more speed through. Dunlop pulls back away again, so just different lines for the drivers there. Oh, a little bit wide through Degner 1 for Mark. Just that was slowing down, make him a little bit nervous, but loses a little bit of time to the cars ahead.
Yeah, now you mentioned Dirt. Yeah, but obviously Mark going up this wasn't Basil's in the same kind of position that Domingo was in, and that in turn has allowed Kevin Ellis Jr. to sneak up to the back of them. So that 4-car train is about to become 5-car train.
I'm not quite sure why Kevin's down as far as he is. I mean, he's been competing really strongly this season. I mean, sat 3rd overall in the championship right now. Definitely has good consistent pace, but struggling a little bit it seems around Suzuka. Oh, as that was having a quick look on Warmington going into the final chicane there.
Yeah, that's going to leave him exposed to Ellis Jr. as they come down the main straight.
Battle going on further behind them as well. I think that's Kern trying to move himself up, doesn't quite do it. Of course, Andre working his way up as well, because he was involved in that incident earlier on. So these drivers both out of place. Going to have a look at the this battle for 5th place right now. Jumped on board with Zoran Jonic right now. He's tucked up behind. He's got Slaven Yatsenko ahead of him, Fabrizio Gobbi, Daniel Bieder, and Anton Sebrakov there as well. So great little battle. This is almost for a podium really. So Say that, Anton, just edging away a little bit from Bida this lap.
As we're just coming up to 8 laps gone, and the usual question that crops up sort of around about this time is we look at the track temperature and we start thinking about tires. I don't know if you or any of the other Apex Racing UK guys have been running any laps around Suzuka this week, but have you got any information on tires, tire wear, possible pit stops?
I certainly haven't done as much as I wanted to, but looking at the track conditions out there as well, 22 degrees, partly cloudy. It's not too bad, not too hot. I wonder if you can actually see the track temperature. It's something I didn't get to see, unfortunately, but if you could let me know what that is, and should be able to give you an idea of what we're thinking as far as strategies go.
Yeah, well, track temperature is up to it's up on 43 degrees at the moment.
I have to say, once you sort of get above the 40s, the tyres tend to sort of fall off rather than sort of maintain, or lap times tend to fall off, sorry, rather than maintain the sort of lap times, as we see with the slightly colder conditions. So I would think drivers will probably opt for a pit stop here. Suzuka very hard on the tyres, as we know. That first sector really pounds the tyres, and we've got someone just a bit wide further ahead. I think that was Fabrizio Gobbi, was it? Just a little bit wide. Okay. So yeah, I'm thinking probably around about lap 18 we might see people in. Maybe just that's just after halfway, isn't it? So maybe before that, maybe even as early as say like lap 15, and do 20 laps on the fresher tyres. Use the undercut wisely.
Yeah, we've certainly see a few drivers in the previous rounds get out of the blocks like a house on fire, and then quickly start losing their pace just because the tyres go.
The long old pit road at Suzuka as well. It was about a 30-second stop, I think, in the older car. I haven't really done a race here yet to know what it is, so take off the time for the fuel. We're looking probably about 26-27 seconds, so still quite a lot of time to catch up. And tyres usually give you about an 0.8 of a second advantage. Could be as much as 1.2 towards the end of the race. So I think there's enough laps to make it back up, but it's going to be difficult. I mean, for Wensin right now, he's got a 5.8 second lead over Zaitsev, so he might want to do that to be safe. But if the drivers don't come in, then he's going to have to work his way past. And unlike Road America and Monza and places like that we've sort of seen in recent weeks, it's not so easy to overtake around Suzuka. So you're not going to get up to them and get past them almost straight away. It's going to be a right old challenge. So you got to know what you want to do, have your strategy laid out before, and don't second guess it really.
Yeah, we've already had an early pit stop, which is Domingo. He's come in. Oh, it's quite a long pit stop.
9.6.
Yeah,
I wonder if he had
34 seconds.
Yeah, I wonder if he had some damage there, because stationary for 9.6, that to me usually indicates like a wing change or something like that.
I shall confirm. I'm just having a look now.
Yeah, I wonder if there's some
drive. There's indeed a wing change for Domingo.
I wonder if there is some drivers in this pack just trying to save their tyres just a little bit. Ficarra holding off from Zoran right now. Looking at the lap times he's done when he was closing them back down, he was quite a bit quicker than this pack, but seems to be giving himself about 0.9 of a second gap. So maybe just trying not to wear the tyres just a little bit. Of course, the closer you get, the more dirty air you get, and the heat will build up a little bit more, and that will just wear them out a little bit. Thinking maybe for the long run, or maybe I'm just overthinking it there, but it does help.
I mean, I suppose you can work it a couple of different ways. Instead of getting into a scrap now and wasting your tires, I would just keep position, save some tires. Maybe the guys in front of you dive into the pits a lap or two earlier than you were expecting. If you've got enough left in the tires by then you can see if you can make those extra 1 or 2 laps count by getting yourself out in front of them.
Yeah, right
Oh,
now, Anton, sorry, in third place is actually closing back in on Zaitsev. So last lap was 3/10. The lap before that was half a second as well. So basically, certainly having some issues, perhaps with tyre wear out there right now. So maybe one that's going to pit and dropped off to 6.8 seconds now from the leader. So this definitely is helping Daniel. Maybe he'll just try and push his tyres as long as he can, building this gap up, and then jump into the pit when everybody else does.
I saw Daniel Bitter having going defensive against Gobby into turn 1 as well. There was still side by side coming out of turn 2. That has settled down now. But all of a sudden, that back behind, for third, I said, yeah, third, fourth, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. That looks a lot closer than it did a lap ago.
Yeah, I think that's going to start to escalate a little bit quickly. I think once people know they're starting to get into that sort of pit stop zone, as Fabrizio has a little look, gets his line all sorts of wrong, and all of a sudden Yatsenko's right on him. Maybe he'll get an opportunity using the ERS and the draft down this back straight into 130R. Is he going to get alongside? He's having a little look. Fabrizio just obviously defending heavily there because he closes right up to the tail of Daniel Bieder as well. And down the inside into the Casio triangle. Has a look, doesn't manage to pull it off, but what that has done is compromise the exit of Gobby. Surely with the DRS, runs wide there, taking the extra straight line speed in for Yatsenko. Both drivers with the DRS, so frustrating when you're trying to get a move done and you see that flap just open up in front of you as well. Nothing he's able to do, but again a mistake from Gobby. The pressure starting to mount. Yatsenko can sense that there's an opportunity here through the S's, trying to stay as close as possible, maybe force him into some sort of mistake through the Dunlop curve. Car can get a little bit light through there if he's just a bit aggressive on the gas. Doesn't look like he's having any issues this time. Gap settles itself back down to what is 0.3 of a second.
And just behind them, you've got the 2 Apex Racing Academy cars lurking as well. Almost seems like they line astern, just waiting for something to happen in front of them, in the form of Zarnjanic and Misha Milano Fakara. And all of that, yeah, it's given Daniel a bit of a gap.
Yeah, 1.9 seconds now. He is ahead, and yeah, he can focus more about what's going on ahead because all of a sudden he started to drop off of Anton. I think that's more that Anton's picked his pace up. So though he lost a little bit of time on Zaitsev that last lap, he has been slowly reeling in the driver ahead.
I see Domingo has been in the pits for a second time. I think I saw him coming out of the pits a couple of laps ago for the second time, and yeah, he's a lap down now as well, unfortunately.
Yeah, must have been some sort of accident that we perhaps didn't see. Seems like Ferenc Kern is caught up to the back of Mark Warmington as well. They're not too far behind. Basil there ahead. That's 14th, 15th and 16th. Kevin Ennis Jr. got past these guys and is pulling away. Another interesting little battle as well is between Jorge Martinez and Victor Preto there. So 4/10 seconds separate those. That's for a fight just to see who's going to get a top 10. Looks like they might be teammates as well. So I'm sure it'll be all fair and square on this battle. Maybe not.
Oh, we've seen it go wrong between teammates before.
Oh, Yatsenko's around. Major moment for him and our championship leader. That's not what he wanted. Let's see that back. I think he's going to retire. It looks like he is indeed. So big time damage for him. Let's see what happened there. How did he end up in that gravel trap and where was it? I think it's going to be one Spoon.
It looks like Spoon.
Oh, he just lost it all on his own. So a bit of pressure from behind, hits the tyre barrier at the end there, just gets all out of shape, lost the rear end, and yeah, hit the front wing, both ends of the suspension. Car is toast. A championship leader is out of the race.
Yeah, that'll be a massive blow to him. One guy that'll be doing wagon wheels right now is Ficarra, who's in need of a good race just to keep himself sort of on par with Yatsenko has to come to the end of this week.
Of course, all three of those drivers currently in the Apex Academy as well, so Yatsenko just not running livery, but is in there. So yeah, there's sort of like a little bit of team going on there. Really, they sort of know each other and sort of share a little bit of information in the forum, but it'll be interesting to see. There's certainly no team orders or anything like that. They don't work together like a team, so there's obviously a bit of mutual respect. So we'll see what Ficarra and Yonage do, how they go at it together.
Yeah, I think to a certain extent you can, even if it's like a rival championship contender, you can always sort of sympathise if they retire through an accident that nobody else involved. They just made a mistake. But it's once people start getting into each other on the track that there's a little bit less sympathy going on.
Warmington lining up for a move, wants to try and take that 13th place down the back straight at the moment through the 130R. Oh, and driver ahead just goes a little bit wide. That's the number 14 car of Canada. Just makes a mistake through that. It's going to compromise him a little bit. Seems to get a reasonable exit. Oh, both drivers dive into the pits. And Ferenc Kern. Oh, there's contact in the pit lane as well as the drivers check up to try and get their cars down to the speed limit. Oh, Warmington looks like he might be done. Looks like he can't turn the car. Ah, disaster for him. Not what they wanted at all.
Yeah, no, Warmington came in hot there. Really hot. On a lighter note though, we've had our leader, Daniel Venter. He's been in the pits. He came out in 8th place. So that's promoted Zaitsev up into 1st, and Daniel Bitter up into 2nd. It'll be interesting to see how long it is before they dive down into the pits.
Yeah, it looks to me as if he's 21 seconds behind the leader as well. So with the fresh tyres, I certainly feel like he's going to be able to make that work. He's got 4 seconds. What's he got? 1.5 seconds until he catches up to Martinez now. So the how much of an advantage those tyres are. Certainly gets a much better run out of the spoon curve. Not going to be able to do anything before 130R, but should be able to line him up for something perhaps coming out of the Casio Triangle.
Yeah, we've got Daniel Bitter and Ficarra's in the pits as well. And this brings me back to my previous theory about just saving your tyres and staying out maybe a lap or two longer. That, as we see from Vensing, is obviously something that will never work. Just the grip you get from the fresh tyres is unbelievable.
Yeah, just able to breeze straight past there as well. So using the DRS and ERS and that fresh rubber to full effect. Sabatov comes out. There's drivers going past him at the moment. Ficarra stayed ahead.
So this might be a really smart move by these guys. Just coming in, they got 18 laps left, just 1 lap short, 1.5 laps short of halfway, and making use of this fresh rubber and trying to get themselves out of that battle that they were in and get themselves in track position.
I tell you what, the pit stop really has hurt Ficarra as well. We said that he had damage and he was going to have a front wing change, and it has dropped him some 7 seconds back from Zoran, who he was battling with just before the pit stop. Zoran pitted a lap before him, so that just goes to show the time loss. 10.3 seconds was his stop compared to a 4.1. So yeah, that really hurt. He didn't actually lose any places on track because drivers behind just dropped back far enough. So we'll see what his pace is like now if he can close back in, but there's still a few drivers that haven't pitted, so he's still going to be on for a good result. And you never know, if people really suffer with their tyres and try and eke out a no-stop race here, they could be Could be really struggling in the final few laps. Not like Road America, where we saw the drivers able to hold on to it. There's not 3 huge long straights here. It really is full-on attack on the tyres.
Yeah, Marquez just dived into the pits from 5th place as well. That leaves only 4 drivers who hasn't made a pit stop.
Yeah, top
That'll
3
be,
still haven't pitted.
Yeah, Andre Eisenlaw in 7th position. He hasn't made it into the pits. Has somebody else just got in? Anton Sabrikov.
Yeah, Sabrikov
is in the pits. He's dropping quickly though.
Yeah,
surely that's
something wrong. Perhaps he's not even in the car. So what happened there? Was that an instant? Let's jump it back and just see if something that we perhaps missed. Yeah, so we just jump back before
point
that.
You towards Dunlop curve.
Right, yeah. Oh, he was a little bit out of shape through the S's as well, so tyres probably screaming at him a little bit at this point. Tried to stay with it. Go into Dunlop. Oh, yes. Oh dear.
Yeah, so he's going to need a cuddle after that.
Yeah, not much you can say about that, and I think he knew that car was done at that point as well. So, but what has changed in the pit stops is Zoran's closed right onto the back of Bida right now as well. So Bida decided he wouldn't be able to make it out on no stops this week. One driver that has managed to do it previously, so not able to hold on. So yeah, Zoran's got a good opportunity here. Just a little bit far back for the DRS to make its full effect. So I think that's going to be a pretty much race-long battle. Just going into having a look where our previous race leader was. Daniel Wensin, 16.3 seconds behind the leader. Now it's all settled down. 2.2 seconds behind Fabrizio Gobbi as well. Gobbi's dropped massively from Zaitsev, 14 seconds. So there must have been a mistake from him somewhere. He wasn't that far behind earlier on, that's for sure.
No, it was sort of between the 1-2 second range. So maybe Gobbi just had a couple of bad laps somewhere. Oh, yeah, one thing that Zaitsev's got to be thinking about now is it worthwhile making a pit stop or not? If he does, he's going to come out in 3rd place with every chance of catching Gobbi.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's 1.3 seconds per lap that Wensin's closing in. So Zaitsev we're in now. He'd obviously have a little bit fresher tyres. So we're closing in probably. Well, yeah, he's not quite as quick as Wensin. So probably going to be very similar sort of time. That would be enough if he decided to duck in now. But yeah, these drivers ahead. 137.3, 137.5 for them. A 134.4. So that is a whopping 3 seconds that lap that he was quicker. So yeah, there's no amount of no-stop strategy that's going to work this week, I'm afraid, fellas.
Yeah, you only have to look at the averages, and Vensing would only have to catch Zaitsev by about a second lap to be with him by the end of the race. 3 seconds. Yeah, that's a big one. That's going to be 5 laps down the road, and then Zaitsev is going to be a sitting duck anyway.
Yeah, sometimes the tyres just don't hold on. Obviously, the new build, they do wear out quite a lot quicker than what they used to. Where last season it was easy to get it to the end on without a stop, but now they do take a pounding, and tends to be you need that slightly cooler conditions on the right track to do it. Suzuka just seems to abuse the tyres a little bit more.
Hey, you would hope that maybe Zaitsev can see it himself, or maybe there's somebody telling him, but like I said, 3 seconds a lap. If he doesn't pit now, or at the very latest the next lap, he's going to start coming under a lot of pressure from the likes of Daniel Bitter, Zoran Janic, because they're closing up that gap. They're 30 seconds behind them, and a pit stop here at best is you're gonna be in and out of the pits at about 28, 29 seconds.
That's it. He can hold on to that. He'll close back in on Gobbi. Gobbi comes in. He's had enough of those tyres. He realises that it's just not going to last. But leader did stay out. So you're right. He's almost committed himself to it now. Because I'll tell you what's going to happen is that Gobbi will, in 2 or 3 laps time, he will be up and past Zaitsev as well, as if there was any sort of pit stop. So even though with that 15-second, let's have a look. Here comes Daniel Bieder. He's got past Gobby as well. So they were behind him on track. So that just goes to show the time that they've lost. They're huge. So great job from Ficarra through as well. So yeah, that late pit stop call, it's not worked out at all.
Yeah, Gobby didn't have a great pit stop either way. He sort of stopped and then pulled forward a little bit, so it looks like he stopped short of the lollipop man. That would have cost him some time as well. That was a 31.5-second pit stop.
Comes out just behind, just ahead of Martinez as well. So that shows you how much time he lost. He was a good sort of 10 seconds up the road from them in a completely separate battle on the racetrack before the pit stop window sort of opened up. So yeah, big time loss for him.
Yeah, staying out, what is it, 14 and a half laps to go, 14 laps to go. And that's a really brave call by Zaitsev. You'd think that guys do enough testing during the week to see what their options are. Yeah, it's become really apparent to us very early on, after those first couple of guys made the pit stops, is that a one-stopper is the way to go, and you're going to struggle on trying to not get into the pits.
Looking at Zoran and Bieder having a battle. Bieder has to go defensive into turn 1, does so, no real issues there.
I tell you, Gobby has just overtaken Eisenlaw through 130R as well. Well, Eisenlaw gave him the space.
Yeah, and Martinez behind them as well, having a little look. Sorry, that was Victor and Kevin Ellis Jr. So those two having a bit of a wiggle from them behind.
Oh, it looks like that Dunlop curve. You see the drivers, so many of them coming through there and just lose the back end a little bit. It's almost like the carousel around Road America. We try and get on the power as early as possible. The rear tires they don't like the corner.
Everyone's suffering a little bit now as well. Those that have pitted against those that haven't. Andre just slipping back a little bit more. Kevin Ellis Jr. He's going to be trying to make his way past now as well, up the inside of the spoon turn. Not easy job.
Oh.
Victor wants to follow him through as well. That's going to be a drag race up the hill. Once you get the momentum into the worn tyres, you still got the straight line speed, of course, but it's going to have to lift, and there you go. It's just 4 places just lost straight like that. Switch back to the Bieder and Jonich battle. These guys are holding each other up just a little bit, and while they are closing in on our leader pretty rapidly, 2.4 seconds that last lap. I mean, if they carry on battling, they're going to make it difficult to catch up. They've only got 12 laps to do it, so right now they're at about the borderline of whether or not they're going to catch Zaitsev or not. So. What do you do if you're a spotter of either one of those two? Do you sort of say, look, guys, just try and settle it down, just have at it, and once you clear Zaitsev, because right now you've got a chance for 2nd and 3rd each. So all this battling, just slowing them down, or just go at it right now and see if you can catch Zaitsev up anyway.
Yeah, I think it's easy to get caught up in a battle and think, unless you pass this person in front of you, you're not going to progress in the race at all. But like you say, just sometimes you got to look at what's in front of you, and if you are someone that tells you, listen, Zaitsev hasn't stopped, and you're closing in on them this much, even through fighting, then just back it off. Save your tyres, and first priority is catch Zaitsev, because he's the one that's going to be vulnerable right at the end of the race. And then depending on what's happening, then you have a little slug it out for the guy that you're currently fighting.
quite sure why the timing screen said that Zaitsev just put the fastest lap of the race in, because he certainly didn't, at 1:36.4. So yeah, some craziness going on there, but has picked up the pace interestingly as well. So the this battle that we're watching on screen, they only closed up 1.3 seconds that lap, so still a huge chunk, but that won't be enough. They do need the 2 seconds to do it. And Wensing closed up. Well, Wensing still closed up 2 seconds, so he's going to be there in about 4 laps time. So that battle could be what Bida and Jonic need just to slow them down if Vissely tries to defend really aggressively, which I'm sure he's going to want to do. Then that could cost him valuable time as well, and give them the opportunity to close in.
Yeah, so Zaitsev has picked up the pace a little bit. He's back into the mid 136s. Vensing, I think the fastest lap you saw popping up on that last lap was Vensing with 134.4. But still, I mean, Daniel, Bida, Zoran Jonic, how much was it? Yeah, it's still over a second a lap that they're catching, so 22, 23 seconds. So it's going to be touch and go whether they catch him or not.
Yeah, Wensing goes quicker again, so there must be something going on with the timing code there, because it keeps popping up for a new fastest lap, but it seems to be showing who's in the lead more than anything. So yeah, 134.167, something that we'll have to look at. Something changed obviously in the code somewhere, but yeah, so Daniel really pounding it in now, and just 5.4 seconds is that gap.
Yeah, it looks like something has spoken to Bida, and someone has spoken to Bida and Jonic as well. Bida doing a 34.6 on that lap, and Jonic a 35.1. Even Ficarra behind them doing a 34.9. So yeah, that's definitely enough to catch Zaitsev by the end.
Yeah, just 10 laps to go, and like I say, that's 2 seconds. So definitely enough. I mean, it's going to be a bit close, and I fully expect that Zaitsev's tyres will fall off even more as well, so those 2 seconds will go up to sort of 2.5 seconds. So our leader definitely under the cosh. Won't be enjoying driving that car right now as well. Lap times considerably slower than what they were at the start, but all fair play to him. He's stuck with it, and obviously set his car up to handle the tyres like that. So Suzuka, a funny track. Wouldn't necessarily say it's a front or rear limited track, so it's probably wearing quite evenly, and which is helping him stay out there. He's just got to back it off a little bit and just be careful not to overheat them anymore, because otherwise the car will be like it's on ice out there. We were on board. Sorry, Conrad. We were on board there as he was going through Dunlop Curve. And he was so tentatively on the gas going through there as well. There was nothing. He was just nursing the car around there. Yeah, he's all in with this strategy, that's for sure.
Well, if he can keep it together and stop Bida from and Ficarra from catching him. Ficarra, sorry, just noticing that on the timing screens. Ficarra's past Jonic.
Yeah, not
Jonic
sure.
was a terrible
142,
lap.
so mistake from Jonic, set him back.
Anyway, as I was saying, looking at this race, it's sort of very similar to what I've been seeing in the real-life European Formula 3 series this weekend around the Ungara ring. Is the tyre wear for those cars around that particular track has been really, really high. And watching one of the races yesterday, one of the guys that started on the front row ended up out of the points by the end because they were fighting so much at the start. They knackered the tyres out, and they just had nothing left for some of the guys to start further back and save their tyres. And it was really, really enjoyable to watch, actually. And as Zaitsev is not taken to the pits, he's now got Vensing only over a second behind them. And you got to ask, really, is it worth for him putting up any kind of a fight with these guys catching him?
I don't think so. At this point and this pace, there's a chance he might still hold on to second if he can sort of hold on to the tyres and the time doesn't fall off anymore. So yeah, if I was him, I'd think, well, there's not, like you say, no point. Let's just worry about getting P2 right now. 2.4 seconds, Daniel closed up that lap. So trust me, overtaking him is not going to be a problem when you're 2.4 seconds. It's going to be like taking candy from a baby.
Govia's just made up a place against Rosen Sabitov as well. Govia's up to 6th place, Sabitov drops down to 7th.
Here we go then. Pretty, like I say, I think Daniel will probably be quite patient. I think he'll wait and do it coming out of the final turn. Use the DRS, make it easy. He'll get much better drive out of the corner.
I certainly don't think we're going to see a repeat of Road America here.
Oh, I think you're right here. So yeah, top in
easy
there.
pickings.
Straight through, no problem whatsoever. And that's probably the best thing for Zaitsev as well. He hasn't lost any time there at all. And actually a much better lap for him that time as well, a 36.6. So the guys behind, 1.9 seconds they closed in. So that's, like I say, the time is still coming down pretty rapidly.
8 laps to go, 17 seconds. At nearly 2 seconds a lap. Well, you do the math. I reckon it's going to be close. Yeah,
it's going to be like we say. If the time falls off any more for him, then I think he's vulnerable. But if it doesn't, then it's going to be very close. You know what? This is what you want. This is like the perfect sort of tire sort of wear rate that you want, so that you can throw a curveball and try and stay out there. But actually the time that you gain or lose is roughly about the same kind of thing. So it all just becomes about how you manage the tyres. So
you know what, this is exactly what we want to see. I think, well, I was pretty much sitting here earlier and saying, I was thinking Zaitsev should have pitted, he's making mistakes, he should have pitted. I mean, like I say, he's thrown a curveball, he's tried it. And if he can keep going at the same rate, he's not going to end up any worse than where he was before the pit stops took place. So it's worth taking that risk, and most certainly provides us with with a very good race. So I mean, good for them. Respect on them for at least trying that and providing us with ample entertainment.
Yeah, what it has done now. Let's take a quick look at the lap times again. Oh wow, that was 2.4 seconds that lap. So much quicker for Bida. So at that pace he's definitely going to be down there. It's down to 14.6 seconds now, so 2 seconds a lap will get him there with 7 laps to go. And as we saw, really there's no defense for Vissali at the moment. So I think Ficarra at 23 seconds, he's got no chance. The best place he's going to finish, I think, in this race is 4th. But I think he'll take that after dropping down on that first lap to sort of was about 9th or 10th place, was it? So, that'll still be a good solid result for him.
Yeah, it's a bit of damage limitation. He's 3 places up from where he started in the race. Along with that, Yatsenko's out of the race as well. So, it's any point is going to be good points for him at this point in time.
A couple of little battles sort of still out there on track right now. We've got Kevin Illis Jr. closing in on Jorge Martinez. That's been going on for a little while. Ferenc Kern as well closing in on Klaus. So I fully expect those two to have a battle at some point as well. It's about half a second a lap difference between them. So Ferenc trying to get his way back into that 10th position that he had at the start of the race before he made that little mistake. I think probably he can get Klaus at the moment. He's also running enough sort of pace to even close in on the back of Victor. So maybe an opportunity, like I say, for that 10th place to happen for him. But yeah, it really is. It's go time. Take a look at what
keeping an eye on the lap times that's being set by 2nd, 3rd, and 4th at the moment.
Yeah, 1.8 seconds that time, so not enough for Bida. Needs to just pick up that pace a little bit more. He needs sort of mid to low 35s if he's going to pull this off.
Whose shoes would you rather be in now? Vasily Zaitsev or Daniel Vida? Because I'm a man. I like my stats, and if I was either one of the two, I'd rather be Daniel Vida, where I can sit, have a look at the gap, and work out lap for lap the average amount of lap time that I've got to catch up to Zaitsev by the end. And it's got a good car with fresh tires underneath him, so you can probably afford to do that. Whereas Zaitsev is pretty much just going to be concentrating on not spinning it.
I mean, he's literally having to nurse the thing around everywhere, and just hoping that, really that Daniel just gets held up somewhere. I think he can see the inevitable coming. Although, he's doing a great job, I have to say. I mean, he's crossed the line again, 37.7 that time by. What does Daniel do? Let's wait for it to update. Looks like a 5, so 35.5, so 2.2 seconds this time.
So, 5 laps left. What's that gap? 10 and a half seconds.
Yeah, it's going to be really close. I mean, from a purist point of view, I'm looking at it thinking, well, it's 10-second gap there. You just hold on to it. This closure rate, it's going to all come down to the last race, to the last lap, and you've got track position. You've still got to overtake at the end of the day.
This is something I'm certainly still getting used to on iRacing. Is this kind of difference in lap times between newer and older tires? We never used to see this in the old FW31, did we?
No, not at all. Everybody pretty much just did the same sort of boring strategy as the way it worked out. Because obviously the fuel and things like that. Occasionally you'd have people run a little bit longer, but for the most part, you were sort of locked in with the strategy based on the fuel more than anything.
Yeah, and any kind of racing, yeah.
Yeah, now that we have to...
Sorry, man.
Sorry, no, you go.
Any kind of racing series, you're looking at 10 seconds and you think, it's mild. It's mild. He's got it in the bag. Easy, no problem. And at the moment, I'm sitting looking at my timing screen, and just this lap alone has gone for 10.5 seconds. Zaitsev had over Daniel Bida.
8.5?
8.5. There it is. Nearly, just over 2 seconds gone.
You can see him on the straight now as well. We just saw a glimpse of them both in the same shot. So, that's the first time. 4 laps, like you say. I mean, that just looks insane. You're like, no, guys, you're chatting out of your butt. There's no way he's catching him. But just look at that closure speed, a 38.1. We said that the times would fall off more for Zaitsev, and this was going to be the problem, versus a 35.4. So that is 2.7 seconds. So
that's a lot of seconds. I mean, just keep an eye on Ficarra and Janic behind in 4th and 5th as well. Ficarra did a 35.2. Janic did a 35.4. So 4 and 3.5 laps to go. They're closing in a rapid rate of knots as well.
Yeah, not enough. Certainly not enough. I think they're safe.
I've got my £5 on the table.
Yeah, Zaitsev is safe, I think. I think he's got a podium here as long as he doesn't make a mistake in the last few laps, or the tyres completely fall off. So we can I'm watching this time go down. We're looking at the gap right now. So that was 8 seconds. It's now down to 6.3. We're going through down the back straight. I think this is a better lap for Zaitsev, but I'm not sure how much. So. Yeah, there's not much else going on. There's a couple of people. They're pretty much just holding Sturm at the moment, holding still. So Feren's still behind Klaus. Kevin Lynch Jr. still behind Martinez as well. So nothing going on between them. Right, 6.1 seconds. So
that lap was worse. It's 38.5.
Yeah, but also a 36.1 for Bida. So not a great lap for Daniel. So, but still 2.4 seconds. So I tell you, it's going to come down to the last lap. It's not going to be easy.
Then my dark horse there in 4th place, Mr. Ficarra, coming in with a 35.4. That was 3.1 seconds quicker.
Yeah, he's got 10 seconds to make up in 3 laps. I'm sorry.
3.4 seconds a lap.
Oh, it's close, isn't it?
I'm putting my money on him. Especially if Zaitsev's going to start fighting better.
He's got
You
to.
might as well pack it in, or start going for it now. He's fighting for a second place in the race. There's no point in just giving that up.
Went in 15 seconds in the lead now, so, and clearly the amount, he was only 7-8 seconds in front of Zaitsev before the pits, so clearly the right strategy this week certainly was to pit. He's gained more time. You know, even if you say it was a halfway point and we're looking at 14-second gap, it's now 16 seconds, so he's gained more time in this second stint than he has the first. So yeah, pitting only marginally quicker, a couple of seconds, but it is quicker.
Zaitsev just about to cross the line, and he does a 36.9.
Well, much better lap. That really has saved him, I think, there. So 35.0, so 1.9 seconds. Still a huge reduction, but 4.3 seconds is the gap. So that lap could make the difference from him taking home P2 or P3 here. He needs another one just like that. Beda really stepped it up as well with a 35.0, so great lap from him. He needed a really good lap after that last one. And I think actually the lap before that might have been the one that cost him from having a shot at maybe going for this second place. Right now, Zaitsev will be looking at that relative like mad as well. So really losing his focus. You can see just nursing the car out of that hairpin. Has a little wobble through the long right-hander. Those tyres are screaming at him right now.
Do you think if we get him, I want to know what the tyre wear was at the end of this race. What the temperatures are saying. Just know some race engineer standing in the back of the car is throwing a massive tantrum.
It looks like we lost Klaus. Klaus is out of the race, so Ferenc Kern and Mark Warmington both moved up a place, so 11th and 12th for them, and everybody actually behind. So, you can see here he comes. We were on to our last lap anyway. It's 2.4 seconds. It's not going to be enough. There's no way he's catching that, I don't think. 37.6 and a 35.6, so it's 2 seconds. So, it's going to be close, but I think he's just going to hold on to it. So just don't let the pressure build up too much. Don't focus on that F3 black box right now. Just look ahead. Do your lap.
Yeah, it's all going to come down to 130R in that final chicane. That's where it's going to happen.
Yeah, 1.5 seconds. You can just see that counter just going down, 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 down. So through Degner 1 and Degner 2. 1.3 seconds, you're right, he's going to make it inside the DRS zone, at least. I think it's going to be a drag race to the line.
Kevin Ellis Jr. just making up another place, he's up to 8th place now, just overtaking Martinez as well.
Yeah, good result for him, of course, having to fight back. Where's our leader? Our leader's got to be close to the finish line. He is. He's just coming into the Casio Triangle right now. He's got a back marker ahead of him at the moment. And yeah, what a great drive from Wenson. He went with the right strategy. He knew exactly what he was playing at. Sorry, Daniel. We're focusing our attention. It's nowhere near. It's 1.5 seconds. Did Daniel make a mistake on that last lap? Because he just closed in.
I think he ran a little bit wide at Spoon, but he's been losing time all the way down the back straight as we were coming up to 130R. And I think Zaitsev just done really well. What's that lap? That was a 37.8.
Yeah,
Daniel Beer really not having,
yeah, so a second slower. So in the end, what an anticlimax! Come on, I wanted that battle into that final corner, but it never happened. Fabrizio Gobbi, that late pit stop hurt him big time. Dropped way down, finishes 6th place. It was definitely the wrong call. He tried to stay out there. I think he was kind of committed, like Zaitsev was, but he was 10 seconds behind Zaitsev. So I think staying out would have made no difference to where he finished at all. No, I think that is everyone across the finish line. Take us through the final results, please, Conrad.
Oh, what a fantastic race. Daniel Venter pretty much bossing that one from start to finish with that win. Vasily Zaitsev in second place. Daniel Bida in third with Missy Milano Ficara in fourth place. We have Zoran Jonic in fifth. Fabrizio Gobbi in sixth place. Ruslan Sabitov in seventh and Kevin Alice Jr. in eighth place. Jorge Martinez in ninth with Victor Preto in 10th place. Renz Kern coming back, making up 2 places from the start to finish in 11th. Mark Warmington with a good result in 12th place. Kenya Basil in 13th. Andre Eisenlaw in 14th place. And then Manuel Domingo finishing in 15th. We had a couple of non-finishes as well in the form of Klaus Samets, Michael van Dijk, Anton Sarakov, Slava Yatsenko, Niklas Rasmussen, Ricardo Roscoe, and Matt Stratford.
Yeah, another great results, great race, really strategy. It didn't really give us what we really wanted at the end there, that little battle, but still, it was great to watch the one-stoppers coming through, working their way through the pack, and yeah, Daniel made the right call. I think he knew what he was going to do from early doors. He didn't let the tyres really fall off, and he made that pit stop sort of early and took full use of the fresh rubber and just came through. So yeah, good call from him. A few drivers there just in two minds of what they were going to do, but still, yeah, some great racing there and some great comebacks through that race. So yeah, Kevin Ennis Jr. no harm done for him. Ninth place, still gets some good solid points. Should help him maintain his position in the championship. For Cara, that fourth place, well, he'll perhaps be disappointed to not get a podium. Certainly, looking at his pace at the end, he had a little bit of an advantage on Bida, so he'll think perhaps that's an opportunity gone with slightly poor qualifying, and then the contact at the start pushing him back a little bit further. But that I would think will still get him back into the lead of the championship.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what kind of points these guys get. Strength of field for this race was just a notch over 4,000. So that should probably give you a better idea of what kind of points I'll be earning by this than I would be.
Yeah,
I'm just purely guessing.
Not massively, but it will certainly be a 200 point for perhaps the top two. So yeah, it might not put him back into the lead actually. The Yatsenko might just hold on to this. So the result that he picked up yesterday is going to help him big time with that one.
I'm just going through the results, seeing if I can catch an updated standings.
Looks like the results are in from this race as well, so we can just have a quick look, see what the point situation is. He got 204 points, so yeah, Wensin 238. That is a huge points haul. So 226 for Visly Zaitsev, Daniel Bida 215, 204 for Ficara. Zoran got 192. Fabrizio Gobbi 181, Ruslan Sabatov 170, 158 for Kevin Ellis Jr. Jorge Martinez doesn't improve his points for the week with only a 147. Victor Preto 136 for Renz Kern 124, Mark Warmington 113, and Cannabazol there on 102. So yeah,
I've got the final standings here as we leave week 6. Ficara in the lead over Yatsenko, but an incredible 7 points.
Oh, well, that's what we want for a championship to go. It's nice to see the tables updated nice and quick. Yeah, 1,221 points for Ficara. Yatsenko, like I say, didn't improve, so stays on the 1,212. Sabatov moves himself up into third place with that result as well, so 1,015. Kevin Ellis Jr. on 982, dropped to fourth. Wensin moves himself up into the top 5, though, like we said that he may well do, on 932 points. And like I say, I know that he's had basically a 0-point week in those 6 that are counting, so he could well be in the hunt for this championship come the end of the season. Needs to have a few more strong results like that, and yeah, it's going to be an interesting. Just halfway through the season, so 6 down, 6 to go.
Yeah, it's only another 3 weeks before we get into week 9, 10, 11, and 12, where the drop weeks obviously come into effect. And yeah, for the guys like Venting that you say, it's going to be. I think it might come as a shock to some of the guys in front of them when they see Venting drops one of those really terrible weeks that he had, and all of a sudden he's right in there with the shout.
Yeah, up next week, of course, we've got Watkins Glen, followed by Interlagos, then Silverstone. It's Spa after that. And then we go to Zandvoort. So we've got a good run of sort of like really great tracks for overtaking. I mean, Silverstone perhaps a little bit tougher than those. And then, of course, yeah, Zandvoort's going to be very, very tricky. The DRS zones are uber short there, so qualifying super important, and grid sizes are a little bit smaller as well. And then we end the season at Montreal as well. So what a great racetrack to finish the season. You can imagine it coming down to the wire, that final race at Circuit de Villeneuve going into the final chicane. Can you imagine that with different strategies going on? Wall of Champions might even come into play.
Well, I was just about to say I've got only one phrase for you, and that's Wall of Champions. It's definitely the champion might end up in the wall and then lose the championship as they come out of it.
Right, well, great race. Thank you, Conrad, again. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I know there was a V8 supercar race on as well, quite a big one today, so a lot of people paying their attention over to that one. But still, nonetheless, great race here, and yeah, I'm looking forward to Watkins Glen. That always makes for a very, very interesting race, and can't wait to see how it all pans out.
Yeah, I love Watkins. Watkins is a great track. I know people sometimes moan about it a little bit, this being it's a draft fest, but it's a lovely track to drive.
All right, thanks everybody for tuning in. We will be back later on, of course, with the BSR Kia Club series. So Paul Smith, Adam Barth, in the booth for that one, with Smoothie Kumo on the cameras. That should be on iRacing Live as well. So keep an eye on that one for the yellow banner. It should pop up. Always fun to watch some Kia action. Very very close and aggressive racing. So if you like the odd crash, well, get involved. Great to watch, and the drama unfolds afterwards as well is also fun. But for myself and Conrad here from Suzuka and the Grand Prix Series, we bid you a good weekend. Hope you enjoyed the race. We'll be back next weekend for Watkins Glen.